guys, so today I'm going to be redoing a video which I did on my old channel, which, as you know, I had to delete because somebody found it but I didn't want to find it and I couldn't block them from the account because they were a hidden subscriber, so I couldn't block them. So just to make sure that nobody ever found out about it, because my school are very Team X Factor, and now I decided to just create a new channel and make sure that I said absolutely nothing about it, so there is no way that she could ever find the channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video, and it's a review of the story Strictly Complicated, which Evie wrote about 4 months ago, I think it was, and it's still my favourite one of hers on the channel. On the Wattpad account, it's still my favourite one of the stories, although I'd say my top 3 are Strictly Complicated, Rings, and probably Safe With You would probably be my favourite, because I like Safe With Me, although I think at the moment I prefer Safe With You. But Safe With Me is also... I love all of the stories, but I think that Strictly Complicated, Rings, and Safe With You are my favourites. So, basically Strictly Complicated is a 25-chapter fanfic. It's following a load of couples from Strictly who have all fallen in love with somebody, and they're all going through a complicated time to try and get with that person or whatever. The couples are, now I haven't read this for about a month now. I've reread it twice. But yeah. So the couples are Molly and AJ, Chloe and Oti, Diane and Natalie, Luba and Giovanni, and Shirley and Darcy. Now, my favourite from them obviously was Shirley and Darcy. That was my favourite parent, and it was what actually introduced me to the idea of the ship Shirley in the first place, which is my ship between Shirley and Darcy. I have, by the way, this is a bit off topic, but I have Horwioli, which is Bruno and Craig. I ship all of the judges in some way. So Horwioli is Bruno and Craig. Crazy is Craig and Darcy. Burley is Bruno and Shirley. Shirley is Shirley and Darcy. Luno is Len and Bruno. Kraylin is Craig and Len. Deruno is Darcy and Bruno. So I have quite a few ships, and I have an Instagram account on it called Strictly Judges Shipper. So please go and follow that. All one word, Strictly Judges Shipper. All one word, no capitals, no spaces, no nothing. It's just that. So yeah. So yeah, the story basically started with, I believe it was Chloe and Oti. Yeah, I believe it was Chloe and Oti, and they were talking, and it was saying how Chloe and Oti were falling for one another or whatever. And then Chloe ran out of the room and she bumped into Darcy. But when she took a close look at Darcy, it appeared as if she was crying. And she didn't want to admit why she was crying. We later find out. And then Craig goes to her dressing room to talk to her, Darcy's, and tries to get the truth out of her. But Darcy covers up by saying that she's just got a cold and she isn't feeling well, and she doesn't want to go out because she doesn't feel well at the moment. So Craig sends Shirley to talk to her, and Shirley goes in and talks to her. Darcy doesn't want to talk to her about what's happening in her life, but Shirley just says that she's there if she needs her. And then we have a couple of chapters where we have Molly and AJ and Luba and Giovanni and all that. And to be honest with you, I loved all of them, but my favourite was definitely Shirley and Darcy, and that was the one that I'd always want to be put in the chapter. And then when a chapter would finally come up with them in, I would be so excited. I would literally be so excited, and then I'd love that. So they were definitely my favourite ship. So they're the ones that I obviously know the most about from the story. So yeah, and then I'll tell you how each of the story ends. Now, if you haven't read the story already, then you might want to go and read it, unless you want any spoilers or whatever. So I'll tell you a quick outline of their story or whatever, and yeah. Okay, so Chloe and Oti get together in the story after Chloe originally rejects Oti, but then they get together, and then at the very end they move in together, and they, although Oti's family have told her that they don't accept her and Chloe, and said that she either has to choose her family or Chloe, and she chooses Chloe, and they end up happy together, and at the very end they move in. There's a chapter at the end, the 25th chapter, the last chapter, is where they turned out in 5 years after the rest of the story. So yeah, Natalie and Diane ended up getting together, and they went on a beach holiday, and in the final chapter they were on the beach. Molly and AJ got together after a while, and then at the very, very end you find Molly proposes to AJ because she wants to spend the rest of her life with him, and he hasn't proposed to her yet, so she decides to do the proposing. Luba and Giovanni. Originally, Luba wants to go public, but Giovanni doesn't. So Luba, they go public, and Giovanni can't handle the stress, so he breaks up with her. Luba's extremely upset and is crying inconsolably, and then, however, Giovanni asks her back, and then he proposes to her. And at the very end of the story, Luba has gone to the doctors not feeling well. She comes back, and the news is that she's actually having a baby, and they're going to be a mother and father. And then the final one, Shirley and Darcy, which is my absolute favourite. Shirley finds out that Darcy's husband, Angus, has been abusing... Sorry about that, my mum came up to ask me something. So Shirley finds out that Darcy's husband, Angus, has been abusing her. He's a violent drunk, and she finds out when she goes over to Darcy's one day, and Darcy goes out to answer the door, and then she's pinned up against the wall by her husband. Shirley saves her, and then offers to let Darcy and her two daughters, Phoebe and Zoe, move in with her. And then in the final chapter, Zoe's telling Shirley about a crush that she has, and then Shirley goes into the kitchen and helps Darcy with the cooking, and then that's the end of the story. I know that I've mainly been focusing on like Shirley and Darcy here, but they were my favourite ship, and so they're the ones that I know most about. So anyway, I absolutely loved the story. But you know what? To be totally honest with you, I loved the story, and I would love a sequel to the story. But I just love a Shirley and Darcy fanfic. Like, I just love a Shirley and Darcy fanfic. I think that would be beautiful. Like, this story actually introduced me to the idea of a Shirley thing, and so I would absolutely love a Shirley and Darcy fanfic. That would be absolutely beautiful. In fact, that would probably be... I know that you probably got a lot of ideas, Evie, but that would probably be my favourite one at the moment. I'd love to have a Shirley and Darcy fanfic, or yeah, something like that. So anyway, this is still my favourite story from a Nat Low Love account, which is one of the best accounts on Wattpad, I would say. So please go read that story if you haven't already, because it's absolutely incredible. It's well worth a read. You will absolutely love it. So anyway, I'll see you soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with more videos. Bye. I've got so much homework to do, so I'm going to have to go do the homework. No. Bye.